Thunder Bay and YouTube, welcome to Ask an Innovator, where we will dive deep into the mind of innovation. Today on Ask an Innovator, we have for you two young, inspired entrepreneurs who decided to take the power back. Yes, a quote from Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine. I use this reference as it does in fact take an intense emotional desire, a burning rage, if you will, and need to take the risk of starting your own business, whatever works and by any means necessary. Brian and Matt found it within themselves to leave lackluster jobs and to pursue the free market, opening RedzoneX Fitness. Guys, when I hear Red Zone, I think of words like threshold, maximum, and outer limits. Gents, let's get right into this. First question, Brian, why did you call your gym Red Zone? And Matt, what excites you about it?
Honestly, Red Zone, it took a while to form. At the beginning, we had a bunch of different names that we wanted to use. And like any entrepreneur, business entrepreneur, going into finding a name, it's the toughest thing because as soon as you search for something that you want, there's already a million of them taken. So we had names like Zone 5, Matt was a cyclist, so that kind of pertained to him. And yeah, there was already 5 Zone 5 fitnesses. We wanted something that kind of reflected our business. So with the heart rate technology and everything we use, and when you said threshold, being able to push yourself to that threshold, our threshold's the Red Zone, so it kind of reflects what we do. So Red Zone came, and we added the X to it, RedzoneX, because we wanted to make sure that it kind of defined who we are. We don't do CrossFit, we don't do boot camps, we don't do high intensity interval training. We kind of do a mixture of all of them. So adding that little cross training X was big for us, and we've been running with it. People enjoy the name, and our group class is called the Red 45. It's catchy, and yeah, people seem to like it. We want our members to really be able to say, you know, I go to Red Zone, not they go to Brian Sipla's Fitness. You know, Red Zone really stood out for us.
Red is a highly marketable color. If you look at fast food places around, that's always red, orange, or yellow because it really catches your attention. Yeah. Matt, what excites you about your business?
Probably the most exciting thing, like for me, is every day you get to go to work somewhere that you actually love to go to, whereas before it might not have been that. But now, like, we've found like our passion with, you know, helping our clients and basically seeing the community get behind what we're doing has been pretty exciting.
Absolutely amazing. One of the things when I meet you guys that inspires me the most is the fact that you were in jobs and now you're in real jobs. You had a job kind of working for somebody else and now you're working for yourself.
For sure.
The emotions tied to that, the risk taking tied to that, just free for all talk. Both you guys just talk to us about what it's like making that transition from that side to this side.
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just bought a house that year. We're planning on having we have a daughter, but we're planning on raising a kid at that time. And you don't know, it's uncertainty. So you're a little nervous, but we knew it was right. I mean, we did it long enough that we knew that we had a bit of a following. So we had a little bit of support and backup. We didn't know it would grow to be exactly what it is today. I mean, we're glad that it did, but yeah, I mean, at the time it was just, it was nerve-wracking. Every day was something new, but I mean, those are the best moments when you look back at them. And during those moments, it's a little nerve-wracking, but because we don't know what we're doing. I mean, we don't know the business side of it. We just know how to be trainers, right? So that's what was probably the toughest part for us.
Probably starting it too. We probably took, you know, Brian and I probably met, I don't know, 8 months probably to get the ideas flowing and to get a business plan made. And then actually when it came time to leave, make the jump, it was pretty awesome.
So when you put your 2 weeks notice, and you guys were working at the same place together, and when you put your 2 weeks notice in to leave, how was that? Did it all of a sudden become real?
Yeah, it was real. Like, I was the first one to go. So I left probably 4 weeks before Brian did. And I met with my boss or one of my managers there and didn't really know what it was about. And it was my 2 weeks. So I left, and then obviously people heard that I was leaving, and we didn't really say what we were going to do, just out of respect for them. Because we did have an idea, and obviously you don't want too many people knowing at that point, but it was a pretty good feeling, yeah. Yeah.
It was a good feeling, but yeah, I mean, it was a little scary. We were dipping into some of our own funds there for a bit. You know, we're not collecting that paycheck every 2 weeks. You can't just leave one place and start the next day. I mean, we had to create Red Zone, so we needed about 2-3 month window to be able to create everything. So, you know, it took time and money and a little bit of sacrifice, especially with, with what we were spending our money on and everything, because our money had to just go strictly to the business. We weren't paying ourselves. Now we realized that we were in it. So yeah, there's a lot of risk, but yeah, if you can get out of that initial phase, I think it really pays off. And that's just the whole startup, making sure that you got all your ducks in a row. So like Matt said, that first 8 months when we got together, it wasn't, just talking about whatever. It was strictly business. We wanted to make sure that we knew the numbers, we had the start, we had the business plan. So once we put those 2 weeks in, we were flying.
Some of the emotions tied to the transition of leaving a secure job and going to work for yourself. You talk a little bit about fear, some anticipation, feeling a little bit vulnerable. Did you feel maybe that you ever did the wrong thing?
I mean, for me, like, I think it was to the point where we were, like, in our career there, we pretty much had to make the jump. So there was some fear there too. But at the end of the day, like when we started meeting and talking about getting a plan together, that's what had to happen. So the drive for that kind of kept us motivated the whole time.
Amazing, for sure.
And especially having a partner too. I mean,
it's
being
helped
with Matt, besides all the stresses and burdens going on me, was a lot easier too. We could bounce ideas off each other and kind of keep each other in check. So
yeah, like I would say, I mean, if we didn't have the partnership, like it probably wouldn't have, like I wouldn't have done it by myself. There's no way.
Strength in numbers?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
sure.
great.
Yeah.
So Brian, you're how old?
I'm 30.
30 years old, Matt?
26.
26, and Brian, you have a daughter.
I have a daughter,
and
yeah,
a family.
Ava,
So there's
15 months.
a little more on the line.
Absolutely.
For you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Considering you have a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, perspective changes a little bit.
For sure.
When you can live selfishly and decide you want to go on vacations and take weekends off and all of that, that's great. But once you have that daughter, things start to get a little bit more real. And of course, as everybody knows, all the parents out there, that the bills pile up a little bit faster too. So
yeah, they sure do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the relationship that you have with your daughter, obviously that's a family. The relationship that you have with Matt, your business partner, is very family oriented as well. You guys are connected
every
all
day.
hours of the day.
We talk about that. Yeah, I know Matt a little bit better than I think I know my wife. So
I'm sure she'd love to hear that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's probably the first person to admit it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you guys were friends and colleagues before.
Yeah.
Now you're friends still and business partners? Are you still?
Absolutely.
Friends?
Yeah.
We just went to Florida a couple weeks ago together for a course, so it was good.
It sounds like a perfect storm.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you were now inspiring all these would-be entrepreneurs, friends, strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's the exact same as a relationship though, as long as we have the communication and we know where each other stand, then we're okay. If we're not talking and we're both going in different directions, that's when you might have something clash. But yeah, we getting away for that course, just us having 3 hours to talk about the stuff that we think, it helps out a lot.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. Ask an Innovator will be right back. We're going to talk to Matt and Brian a little more about the guts and marketing, the business, some of the finer details, and the day-to-day. Stay tuned.